This is Rollerdrome. We're here on Xbox Series X. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So, this is a very intensive experience where, in the future, there is only one sport, there is only one battle, and it's Rollerdrome. So yeah, you kind of go out to the arena and you go and you shoot folks and blast things and score points. Think of it as kind of like Tony Hawk, but like extreme killing is the setup here. It's kind of an intriguing concept. So what are we getting here? It's a 4K resolution at 120 FPS. And yeah, it's just kind of really fluid, intense combat, which is kind of neat. So I played this on the PS5 when it first launched, and it's interesting to see it come here now to the Xbox platform, because it's a neat game. Like, it's kind of vibing, it's kind of cool. You're here to like score kind of like trick shots and get points and do challenges, and you know, the more you kill, the more like health and stuff you get, and there's different types of enemies, and you've got to like dodge sniper folks, and if you go a little crazier later on, there's like rockets. You get ammo by killing people, which is interesting. And yeah, it's just kind of like a very different, neat sort of thing. There's also spatial sound support, and if you go to the settings and video, you can change the field of view if you want a little bit of a wider range while you're frantically out here, you know, doing all these cool tricks and whatnot. But yeah, it's kind of like a straightforward sort of thing, you know? You get your points, you go out, you shoot some stuff, and you just kind of battle along in this crazy world. I mean, it's kind of, it feels a little bit like a sort of a Mad Max type concept. Oh, that was a great shot there. Where you are like literally, I don't know why I feel like Mad Max, but like the apocalyptic element of it, where you're just sort of doing like this roller kind of sort of thing, just, it feels like a movie from the 80s in concept, and you're just sort of living it out here. It's a little weird and a little bit zany, that is for sure. So it's like, I'm trying to think of the year. The year is 2030, where corporations rule. The lines between reality and performance are blurred. This is a blood sport, and you want to become a champion. It's nice that this is only several years away. This is the future of sport. And you know what? I don't mind it. It's kind of interesting, honestly, the idea that this would be a thing. I'd watch athletes go and blast each other in an arena like this. I mean, it's kind of a little dystopian, but, you know, entertaining. I mean, from a more safe perspective, you could just have them, like, go and, like, do paintballing while they're doing this. It's like athleticism at its finest. I mean, look at this kind of performance from this woman. Like, this is absolutely just remarkable. Anyways, it's kind of like a clean, distinct sort of game, you know, like, it's straightforward. It's got a very distinct art style and aesthetic to it. It all flows quite well. It's all easygoing. It does, like, I'm maybe making it look kind of easy. I don't know, probably not. It's hard to talk and kill and shoot and, you know, do all that great stuff that I do. But, yeah, I'm just trying to really get across this is kind of like a neat game. Now, the biggest disappointment for me is that this is a single-player game. That was a big bummer, because usually I'm not necessarily one of those people that's like, oh, everything has to have multiplayer and stuff like that. But, like, this game would be really, really fun with multiplayer. Like, it would be really, really, really cool with multiplayer. Because I remember, like, playing it and just being, like, absolutely disappointed that there was not multiplayer. I was like, what? Oh, and you get, like, ranked, and you do need, like, your score actually does matter, which kind of is a little annoying to some degree, but, yeah. There's a campaign, and then there's also, because you need the challenge completions to unlock different areas and stuff. To me, that's kind of a little annoying. I don't like when games do that. But, you know, it's sort of like the Tony Hawk of it, if that makes sense, where it's sort of like you gotta get all the skill trick things done in order to go to that next spot. And, yeah, it's kind of cool. And then there's, like, the Out for Blood mode, which kind of takes things a little bit further, because your character is, like, you know, not just doing a story. Now you're out for blood. And this is from, like, I guess the Oli Oli folks, so, yeah, when I was playing Oli Oli, the first thing I thought of was, like, oh, if only we could be, like, you know, doing that, but shooting. Nah, it's kind of a funny little thing. The Oli Oli games are fantastic, too, by the way, if you've never played those. High recommend on those games. But yeah, you're, like, kind of just sort of trying to put together the best shots, like, or I guess more like the best tricks, and then go and then shoot stuff, right? Because that's going to allow you to have, like, the ammunition you need to get the kills done. They got the cool slow motion. It's a neat concept for a game, honestly. Like, it's very distinct and different. You know, there's just not too many games out there that do this kind of, like, radical sort of thing. It actually continues to make me really want a new Tony Hawk game, because we haven't had those in a while again at this point. You know, they come and then they disappear really fast again, and it's just it's like a bummer kind of losing out on this sort of thing. But like as a single player campaign, it's kind of neat. But yeah, my big thing was sort of just like the idea that you know, it's just like a single player thing. So it's just like a little story structure that you kind of go through. If they do continue this or do something more with it down the line, it would be really sweet if they did, I guess you would say, consider doing like a multiplayer aspect of it. Because, like, I don't know, it feels kind of like simplistic and bare bones in that regard, because you kind of just, you know, you play through it, and there's good challenges, and you got to do cool tricks, and you got to perform, and, you know, everything like that. I'm not saying that's not here, but it just kind of feels like almost minimal in the sense in comparison to, like, what it could have been. And then, yeah, I also don't love the whole having to, like, basically do certain challenges in order to progress. I find that kind of stuff annoying in this sort of game. Especially as it gets, like, more and more difficult, and you have to do crazier and crazier things in order to, like, get access to stuff. But I think it's kind of just, like, a fun sort of thing if you dive in here and go, and just kind of blast stuff. Like, it really is, there's a level of finesse to this. Like, it seems relatively easygoing, and then once you go in here and you start, like, killing in that, it could be, like, a bit of a challenge, that's for sure. It's just kind of like a concept that I think, to some degree for me, wore a bit thin, just because there wasn't much more, and, you know, like, the alternative mode is kind of a neat thing, but you gotta, like, actually finish the story to dive into that, to unlock it. It just, like, to me, it seems like a concept that's, like, really, really well executed, and sort of at the same time, to a degree, simplistic and not fully reaching the potential it could have, I think, by, like, you know, having some extra content stuff to it. But I like the simplicity of the character too. Like, you're just kind of this individual that's out here on a track, just you know, kind of out here competing to the death. Because obviously those rockets are trying to kill you. And then these enemies are kind of neat too, because they basically, like, they have their set, you know, shields and timers and stuff, and, you know, it's a bit of a mix-up from the regular troops that you're coming across. It's, yeah, you know, honestly, it's just like, it's a really interesting game to me. It's very different. I'm trying to think of other ones that are like this, but there's not really too much out there, I would think. And yeah, as I said earlier, it's very reminiscent of, like, an 80s type movie and, like, concept. You know, like, this would be something they would literally do back in the day, and it would be like a big 80s VHS film about this, like, you know, woman that's, like, struggling in the circuit, and it's all, like, dystopian look at the future. That's exactly what this would be. And it just kind of, like, works, and it vibes too. You know what I mean? Like, the music, the audio, it's sort of, like, simplistic, but, like, it vibes, and then the art aesthetic too, I think actually just is really, like, it's super simplistic, but there's just enough level of detail that kind of makes you go, oh, well, this is interesting. I guess we could do, like, a flip if we get enough speed. Whoa! It's free to rock around, it's tricky. You know, like SSX Tricky, which is like a franchise, but we haven't had a new one in forever. Well, it's just called SSX, but you know what I mean. Where's my new SSX? Yay. I know that's like totally nothing to do with this, but yeah, now I'm kind of thinking of that too. Where's my SSX with guns? I'm just kidding. It was a little bit of a riot. Oh, you should see like I think it's the level after this one where it's like this sort of like a sub-base type thing. It gets really crazy. You know, it's like more of like a frozen snow type level. You're supposed to like let it go and yeah. I'm having a blast like pulling off cool tricks. It's like Tony Hawk when you're like flowing, if that makes sense. Like I've never been great at that one, but you know, sometimes you get like a good like trick flow kind of going and it feels really cool and you're just sort of in the moment. And this one, your element is in the moment of like shooting these guys. If that shield ever ends, bam, done. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, and there is also like a bit of narrative here too, if that makes sense. Like there's like a mysterious thing in the backdrop. You know, they got like a little bit of a narrative edge to it, which is kind of cool. I got a C. I got a penalty, a huge penalty because I didn't kill fast enough. I'm such a failure. This is what I'm saying, where it's kind of like if you do kind of struggle with some of these games for getting the points, it's like, you know, it could be hard to get to like new areas and stuff like that. This is when things get really wild, like where deaths and stuff really start happening for you. Or maybe not this one. Oh, okay, sorry. It's a tutorial thing, and then it goes into the snow area and stuff. They got to teach you the new weapon. This is how you do your tutorials. Is like you're basically going in here and doing like test runs and stuff, and it works. It does. You know, it's kind of an easygoing thing, but it can be a little annoying because you just want to get into the action. But you know, you gotta learn how to do stuff. I'm just like totally messing up on this wall running. Oh, come on! It's like embarrassing out here. I didn't know I was gonna be tested more, and I think it gives me the shotguns. See, we gotta train with the dummies because it would be too dangerous to train with real players or real people as we shotgun them to death. See, you get some new weapons and toys too. It's not just all pistol action. Slug shot. Well, I'm actually kind of surprised that that thing didn't kind of die there. Mastered the slug shot to get the most out of my shotgun. Oh, come on. There we go. Gotta get the style points going on. And one more perfect slug shot. No, never mind, I messed up. That would have been really cool though, right? I would have timed that just perfectly, would have been sweet. Everybody would be like, oh, Sky, great shot. Come on, do another one. No, you're not gonna do another one? There we go, slug shot's done. It's all about getting good.
Competitor Hassan has completed all advanced tests. They are now eligible to take part in the next round in Savannah Summit on April 30th, 2030.
Right on. Time for the next leg of the race. Yeah, this one's a little wild, honestly. Got all the snow going and stuff like that. Because this one's got like a multi-layered kind of thing, so you can sort of like fall off the area, if that makes sense. Which was like a huge trouble thing for me, because I would like fall off the level and I'd be like, are you kidding me? It's like, who puts giant holes in the middle of the open? Oh! It's free to rock around. Slug shot in. I can't believe that guy's actually still alive. But yeah, the rockets, everything like that just gets crazy. Very stylized, right? Like, it's neat, because you would think, like, these simplistic, almost, like, throwback type games, you'd be like, oh, I don't know, art style-wise, it's like, how does it hold up in the modern era, compared to, like, realistic type visuals, and no, it's still, it rocks pretty well. A lot of these guys, they're annoying shields. Kind of makes it a pain when they're all rocket men, eh? Especially when it's like, you know, you do a little bit of damage towards them, they get all angry about it. It's like we're out here trying to kill each other or something. Who's gonna die tonight? Is it weird? I'm actually almost enjoying it more the second time around now. Very strange. Oh, come on. See, it wouldn't take me so long to get this done if these guys didn't have these annoying shields. They're harsh in my roller mellow. The perfect dodge? Thank you. The perfect slug shot? It really is. It's like Tony Hawk if he killed people. Right? Now I'm getting like overly confident, which will be my downfall. Oh ho! I think that was pretty great. I mean, I don't know if I got all the trick things I'm supposed to do, but not bad in the slightest, if I must say so myself. Or for myself, I guess, really, right? You only got one down. That's not great for unlocking new areas. This is where I was like, you know, it's like progression-wise, you have to do so many challenges to unlock things. 13 more challenges. It's time for the Houston Mall. The place where death is made.
This is the final test for new competitors of the 2030 Rollerdrome Championship. Up next, Kara Hassan.
Whoa! Acid drop. That must actually be such an unsettling feeling in real life. Okay, that did not go well. That. What am I doing? Okay, let's try this again. So we go in here. I'm not doing that right. Hold LB. Yeah, I get that. Oh, okay. I don't know why I was struggling with that. I was holding LB. I think it's more timing, isn't it? I see. I think it's like timing. I think maybe the approach? Well, going up a quarter pipe. Okay, I get it. So it's more of like a hold and then gag. There we go. I was wondering why I was struggling with that. Ready for anything? Complete every tutorial exercise? Wow, I got so good at this. You even give me achievements for my murderous activities. The Houston Mall, May 18th, 2030.